mean, the reason I actually got into music and the reason I loved it so much, or art in general, was the forum for self-expression. That was it. It was, I couldn't stand school. When I went to school, school may be different now, but when I went to school back in the dark ages, it was, here's what you got to do. Everyone's got to raise up to this standard, and there's only one way to approach it. And it drove me nuts, because a lot of times their way wasn't the way I found comfortable. And, but they gave you no option. It was like, no, you've got to do it this way, and you've got to just wrap your head around it, and that's the end of it. Whereas with music, I mean, you know, I suppose there's right or wrong if you choose a certain situation and say, here's the notes of a major scale, and someone plays a minor third, you say, no, that's a wrong note, because we want you to play a major scale. But if you just talk about how you play music, I mean, you've got complete artistic license to just retune the instrument, play it upside down, you know, play it around the back to front, you know, do whatever you want. You don't even need to play it. Maybe just put it on your knee and just do that, and that's your act, you know. I mean, you have complete artistic license to do whatever you want. You may be the only person that likes it, and you've got that right as well. You know, that's what I loved about it. So I guess my approach has always been to just explore what I hear in my head without relying too much on external influence. When I have an influence, I like to let their playing just sort of wash over me without me trying to cop too many of their licks and lines. Because I mean, that's enough. If you listen to somebody for long enough, their phrasing is going to infiltrate you, if you love what they're doing. Like, that's why there's a lot of Scott Henderson in there, and a lot of Holdsworth, a lot of Allen, and a lot of Larry Carlton. I can do a wicked Larry Carlton impersonation. There's Rory's in there. You know, all my influences are there, Santana, the whole thing. But like I said, the last thing I'd ever want to do to them is play their lines back to them really badly, because what I always admired about my heroes was that they were original. They had their own voice and their own vocabulary. So if you can borrow people's phrasing, but just don't take their vocabulary, I think it's a good path to be on. You know, I see people that really go out of their way to clone themselves to their favourite players, and I admire them for the achievement, but I think, wow, it's a lot of man hours to do that. If they invested just half that time in themselves, they could be well on their way to having a unique sound. So that's just where I'm coming from. I'm not even really qualified to try and blow people away with chops. I mean, it's not really what I've worked on. So I would rather have people walk out of a gig saying, I really enjoyed that, rather than, I've never seen anybody play that fast, or something like that. If that's what I want, I've gone about it the wrong way. I just hope whenever I play, people know it's me.